Debt. It's one of humanity's oldest inventions. Older than money, older than writing, older than coins. For 5,000 years, debt has been the invisible force shaping economies, toppling kings, and rewriting the fate of nations. But here's the paradox. Debt doesn't just destroy, it also builds. Empires rose on borrowed wealth and crumbled under it. Today, we'll travel from ancient Mesopotamia to modern Wall Street to see how debt built civilizations and how it tore them apart. Our story begins over 4,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. Here, the first farmers borrowed grain from temple storehouses. They'd promised to return it after the harvest with a little extra. That little extra was the birth of interest. But nature wasn't always kind. Floods, droughts, and failed crops made repayment impossible. When debt piled up, families lost their land, their freedom, even their children. Entire generations were born into bondage. Yet the ancient kings noticed something remarkable. When too many people were enslaved by debt, society itself began to collapse. Fields went empty, armies shrank, the economy froze. So they hit reset. Rulers like Hammurabi of Babylon declared debt amnesties, wiping the slate clean. In cuneiform tablets, this was called Amargi, meaning return to mother, the first recorded debt forgiveness in human history. Even the Egyptians practiced a similar principle. Pharaohs often forgave taxes and debts when they rose to the throne. Not out of kindness, but survival. They knew that a population buried in debt couldn't work, trade, or fight. A healthy economy required not just wealth, but hope. Ancient societies understood that too much debt didn't just threaten individuals. It threatened civilization itself. But not all cultures were so forgiving. Fast forward to 6th century BCE Athens. Debt had once again trapped the poor. Farmers borrowed from wealthy landowners, and when they couldn't pay, they lost everything. Some even sold their children to survive. Athens stood on the edge of civil war. Then came Solon, the reformer. He enacted the Seisachthia, literally, the shaking off of burdens. Solon canceled all debts, freed the enslaved, and outlawed debt bondage forever. His reforms saved Athens and laid the foundation for democracy. But debt didn't vanish. It simply changed form. Instead of enslaving bodies, it began to enslave institutions. Now we move to Rome, the world's first financial superpower. The Roman economy ran on credit. Merchants borrowed to trade across the empire. Politicians borrowed to fund campaigns. Even soldiers borrowed against future pay. But when Rome's expansion slowed, the debt bubble burst. Riots broke out as creditors demanded repayment. Plebeians, crushed by loans, revolted against the elite. Debt crises became so frequent, they fueled civil wars. Even Julius Caesar stepped in. When he came to power, he canceled 1/3 of all debts in the empire. It made him immensely popular and dangerously powerful. Shortly after, Caesar was assassinated. Rome learned a timeless truth. Control the debt, and you control the people. Thousands of years later, the same story repeats. Today, nations owe trillions. Families live under lifelong loans. Governments debate bailouts and forgiveness, just as kings once did. Technology changed, but human nature didn't. Every few centuries, debt grows faster than people's ability to pay, and the system resets, sometimes through reform, sometimes through collapse. From Babylon to Wall Street, debt has always been a double-edged sword, a tool of progress and a weapon of control. The ancients understood that too much debt could destroy a society. The question is, have we forgotten that lesson? I'm Financial Ancientist, where we explore the money stories that shaped our world. If you enjoyed this journey through the history of debt, leave a like, subscribe, and join me next time as we uncover how the past still controls our financial future.